This one's definitely gay enough. Largely, straight rom-coms are always about monogamy, vanilla sex, the one true love. But queer love stories and the few queer rom-coms are usually about exploration, about coming of age and coming of age. So a movie like Pillion exposes just how phony most straight rom-coms are. Because Pillion isn't just about exploration, it's not even really a love story. It's a self-love story. It's also just really unapologetically gay. Harry Melling stars as Colin, a shy and sheltered gay man who still lives with his parents. He has a mundane parking attendant job, and he sings barbershop quartet on the side. His parents support him and want him to find a boyfriend. Enter Ray, a strapping biker played by Alexander Skarsgård. Ray is the man of Colin's dreams, so he says he can do whatever he wants to him. Thus, they enter into a sub-dom relationship, where Ray orders Colin around in every facet of his life. Soon Colin is thriving, he's a part of the gang, he's out of his shell, his parents are grateful. But the relationship starts getting shaken up when Colin realizes he might want something more. As a lover of film and as a straight guy, I see everything, so that includes queer films. And the thing I want from a good film, no matter if it's made for me or not, is authenticity. So when I see gay love stories that always feel like they're holding back or pandering to a straight audience, well, I'm disappointed because I don't want filmmakers to hide themselves. I want them to tell the stories that are true to their experiences. And first-time director Harry Lighton has done just that, adapting the novel Box Hill into a queer story that is funny, insightful, tender, and prickly in all the right places. Because say what you want about this film, Pillion never panders, which for a queer story like this means discomfort. Discomfort for straight audiences, and maybe even some queer audiences who have their own ideas about what BDSM relationships look like. So the thing I appreciate most about Pillion is it's not for everyone. The sex here is intimate and awkward and sometimes discomforting, but not really for the audience. It's for these characters, because Colin is a newbie to all of this, and Ray is the teacher of his dreams. And in the casting of Alexander Skarsgård and Harry Melling, well, you kind of have perfect archetypes of what you imagine a sub and dom to be. Melling is such a striking actor. He's not traditionally handsome, he has strange features, but he has this softness and vulnerability to him that instantly puts you on his side. In contrast, Alexander Skarsgård is an Adonis. I mean, he played Tarzan after all. He's this huge, strapping, striking figure who would intimidate anyone, and Melling and Skarsgård know their personas. They know their archetype, so they play off of these, thwarting our expectations of what we assume each of these guys is like. Colin is game for anything, and he's willing to test his boundaries, sometimes to the detriment of what he actually wants. While Ray is so confident in who he is and what he desires that it puts off even Colin's parents, because Ray deep down is an enigma. This arrangement means no emotional attachments, no backstories, no heart-to-hearts. At the same time, though, this movie never becomes squishy. It's a rom-com in the way that situations and intimacy can be humorous, but that's not to say this is formulaic. This is a movie that's confident in its characters, about who they are and what they want. And let's be honest, that's unusual for most love stories, for most romances, for most comedies, and for most rom-coms. The director has called this a dom-com, and that's a perfect description, because in a way this feels like something we're not used to, something we haven't seen. It's a queer film that any audience can enjoy, but it's not saddled by your love story tropes, or your sex tropes, or your intimacy tropes. At times, Ray's behavior toward Colin can seem abusive to outsiders, but again, this is part of the arrangement. Colin is never gaslit or manipulated or abused. He wants this. To what degree he wants this is another question, and the movie finds those nuanced spaces between consent and boundaries and chemistry. Skarsgård and Melling have terrific chemistry. Skarsgård with his deadpan, and Melling with his kind of puppy dog demeanor. And in that way, it makes the conclusion of this film kind of heartbreaking. Not in your traditional tragic love story sense, but in the way life is kind of heartbreaking, where you learn new things with an exciting new partner. You change and you grow. But the old saying goes, someone usually enters your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And with a love story as strange and funny and sweet as this, Well, it's so rare that you get an examination of all three: the reason, the season, and the lifetime. Pillion is the dom-com you didn't know you needed. It's funny, sweet, insightful, and intimate, anchored by two terrific performances by Alexander Skarsgård and Harry Melling. I give Pillion an exceptional 4 out of 5 stars. If you like this review, please like and subscribe or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. Now, even though this movie is graphic, you can tell they trimmed a little during the sex scenes, which means there's an unedited version out there. So I'm starting a petition. Hashtag release the cock ring cut.